Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from Productions², and you are watching our, what is it now? Either the 6th or the 7th developer's vlog for Combine Insurrection. I'm not completely sure which it is. I didn't look it up before working on this, or rather starting this. So I'm clean off my desktop here a bit. Got a whole bunch of stuff from classes. Littering it up. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think so. So, all that goes down to... that's right, no, well... where the hell did I put the shortcut for that? That's there it is. And actually, we can get rid of some of this other stuff, too. Like I said, we're here today to do the developer's vlog for Combine Insurrection. We're going to be covering a couple of different areas this time. The last couple of times we've been doing just like coding mostly, but we're going to be doing hammer some of the code, a little bit of coding just for what I've been working on, and also going to go through the steps of making new textures for the game as well, or for Half-Life 2 in general, really. Alright, those are probably the only ones I can see for this, so those go there. I want to take all this stuff too. Alright, so that'll go down here as well. Alright, so I want to start off by saying that, well, I'll leave that for later because at a certain point there's going to be spoilers abroad, so I'll let you know when that happens in case you want to stop watching so you don't learn the secrets of this map that we're going to be looking at, the graveyard map. So let's go out here for a second. As you can see, things look a little bit different than last time. I finally finished all the houses or buildings, what have you. Also though, there was a lot of time spent on this map this time around. I may not look like it because it doesn't look that much different, but there are lots of tiny little changes that you are not able to see. Well, some that you might be able to see, like, for instance, all these arches have been replaced with the ones I had created for the buildings on the backside, or the other end of the map. So all these buildings have had their arches replaced. The other thing that's different, though, that took the most time, it took me maybe 4.5 to 5 hours total over a couple of days, to standardize every single road or walkway you see here, including resizing and moving around these areas here, and moving things around in them. There were, over here we had established a default walkway size of about 124 units. Over here, not so much so. There were some that are 124, like this one I think was, but everything else was like less than that, or even less than 100 in some cases. So I had to go through and widen all these roads, move pretty much everything that you see around here, these lamp posts, all the stuff here, these the fence here. Had to move all that stuff around, and it took a really long time to do. But we got it done. I fixed up a lot of little small things you won't be able to notice because they're essentially vertices that are like this, that even though I keep on fixing, it keeps on breaking, so I don't know why Hammer insists on breaking it. It just will not give me a break. See what I did there? I'll see if it does it again this time or not. Maybe it'll shape up now that I'm recording it, and have documented proof of its intransigence. Difficult word to say. Alright, so, yeah, we got all these buildings made now. They're all empty, obviously, but it's a start. One of the other things that I did was, this here, as you can see, wasn't here before. It used to just be kind of a open area, fenced-in thing. It was supposed to be where the power generators were, but as you saw when we started out in that room, I decided to make it an actual building, so it could have other things that would not make sense to have outside in the open like a computer or something that could, essentially fry if it gets caught in the rain. So we decided to make a building out of that. There's a lot of little things on this here that were wrong. Lots of little, lots of vertice issues that I fixed up. That took about an hour and a half to do for the whole thing here. So the total amount of time spent on this map, over this update cycle, extended update cycle, has been about 16 hours total. Out of the total, about 30 or 40 hours that will be totally at the end of the day will have been done. So I'm planning on working on this map some more and some other maps, and maybe even starting a new map up as well. So let's kind of go over some of the spoiler sections here, and yes, that's your keyword to stop listening if you don't want to learn about how this map works and how you're going to be able to beat the map. The map is essentially just kind of not a placeholder, but like a just kind of a filler map, if you will, to get you between City 23 and the Resistance base on the next map. But how this map works is that you have this mausoleum here that you go into. They're going in there to try and find refuge from all the zombies and stuff that are chasing you around the map from the last map. But when you get over here to get into here, you'll push this to try and break it or something to get in there, and it'll spark off and show up with an error, and then I'll have a sign somewhere around here that'll say, in case of keypad error, restart power. And that's essentially how the map goes. You'll follow, or at least the people that understand what power lines signify, will follow the power lines back here and see this and say, okay, so we can restart the power from back here. So we get in here, and you'll see, I won't show this exactly yet, you'll see the power generators are in here, and you'll see this here, and then you'll have a computer terminal here, and then you'll have this thing will be stationed right here, and then there'll be a texture sign somewhere that'll say, in order to restart the power, you have to shut down the power to each individual sector graveyard before you can shut down the main power, because that's just how the system works. And so what you'll have to do is you'll have to go out and travel to each of these rooms, or not rooms, but buildings. Not all of them, but a few of them in each sector that'll have a rudimentary 15th century breaker switch. And when you pull the switch down, sparks and stuff will go off, and then the power will shut down for that sector. And with that come the zombies, because they'll see, oh, the lights are off, somebody must be around here, let's go eat them, and they'll start spawning. How that's going to work right now, I'm not entirely sure, because before, when you did this one here, it shut all the power off. Now it's going to be per sector, and if you have things spawning in the sector that the player's in, it's kind of weird, so I'll have to figure out a way to have that happen. Maybe what'll happen is that in certain sectors, once the player comes out here, and maybe goes over there and turns it off, zombies will start spawning or something. But that's how the zombies will start spawning. And the way you can tell if there's a sector that has power or doesn't have power is by this thing, which you saw when we were in here. This is a somewhat accurate representation topographically of the graveyard. If I go up here, you'll kind of see what I mean. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty damn close. And so what will happen is I'm going to put beams on this thing that'll have green for sectors that have power and red that are sectors without them, and I'll segment off each sector of the graveyard with these environment beams, and they'll change color when you turn the power off for a particular sector, and then come in here and shut down the actual flow of power to that sector, because the breakers just disrupt the ability of the objects within that sector to gain power. It doesn't shut the power off to that sector, which is what you need to do. But you have to shut the power off from the devices or objects first so that you don't damage them. And yes, that's not how it really works in real life, but just for the hell of it, that's how it's going to work here. So, like for instance, this will be a sector here. So all the lights that are within this little invisible square here will go off when you switch off the power here. You'll have another one here, one here, one here, and then you'll have this one here. That's the main sector for the, well, the main's for the whole thing, but the one that's important is this one, so that's why I'm calling it the main one. Then have these here, this sector here, this one here, sector for the actual power room thing, the power station we have here. And so that's how that's going to work. Let's see what else. Started to go over with this map. I guess that's really everything now. As far as how you complete them. I'm not going to explain where the enemies spawn from, because that's a little bit too much being revealed, but that's just kind of the idea of it all. Some of the other additions that are made were these light fixtures here. They're going to be shining light up onto this, and that's another way you'll know that the power to this area here has been turned off. And you can continue through the map once you turn everything back on. And again, you will have to go through, turn the switch, flip the switch here, and then flip the switches over here to turn the power back on to each sector, which you'll have to do for some arbitrary unknown reason in order to be able to use this. Maybe because there has to be a full circuit. Maybe that'll be the excuse that this entire map represents an electrical circuit, and without the circuit being on, nothing works over here. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but you know what? This is Half-Life 2. It doesn't have to make sense, logically. So, that's kind of how the map works. All these buildings will have coffins or something in it that will allow zombies to spawn from. Or at least provide a reasonable area for a zombie to spawn from. That if you go into these places when they're spawning, you'll see that they're spawning from like a specific place, or multiples from the same coffin, which is interesting. It's like, what have those skeletons been doing in there? They got more than one in one coffin. But that's pretty much all the work that's been done on this map, and you'll see some more done as I actually institute the system of events that I've just been talking about once we get started here. I'm also going to be making those signs as well, and that's what we're going to have for the texture making. I originally planned to be making some models for the Stranglehold map, but there just wasn't enough time. And because I actually took some extra time to work on the Dawn of War 2 stuff, and put this on the secondary burner, meaning that I didn't work on it primarily, for maybe about 2 weeks of this month. So I have been working on it a lot, though, just not as much as I would have. I wanted to get the Dawn of War 2 stuff done as quick as possible, and it was just taking so bloody damn long because of the crappy modding system that Relic has. It's pretty obvious that Dawn of War 2 was rushed, or that they were just being lazy about it, just by the way the game is. If you want to hear more on that rant, go watch our Memoria Random Kingdom walkthrough. Kind of towards the end of it, there's some pretty good rants about how Relic was being lazy and stupid with their modding systems. And really just with the game, period. But it's not for this video series, or at least this group of videos for this video series. So, let's go ahead and get into actually getting things working here, or at least getting them to the point to where they can. We need to actually first texture this edge of this thing here. I think we'll do it with stone. Let's see, what kinds of stone do we have? Maybe I should use these new textures here. Let's see. It's kind of looking for like a flat stone texture. It's really hard to find just flat textures that are, you know, provided by Valve, because the methodology they took for texturing was that the textures were meant for specific things. and not just to be used generically. So there's really not very many just flat textures. You got these kind of things on them, or kind of fade-ins to different types of texture, or this kind of stuff where there's actually a kind of a pattern to the texture or whatever. There's nothing just kind of flat like this one here, where it's just like a generic kind of texture that can be used on anything and everything, without having to try and modify the way the texture looks on each side to make it look proper. But let's see, not many rock textures, or stone rather. So maybe I will use this then. Actually, let's go ahead and modify it so it's lower resolution or scale. Oh wow, cool. I didn't know you could do that. That saves a lot of time. Oh, we lost the grass. Crap. No grass. Although why you have grass growing on a, it's kind of a wall plaque, I have no idea. Maybe it's just made to look like grass. Maybe that's it. It's just, kind of painted to look like the grass out here, even, down to the exact blade of grass, but whatever. We'll just say that they have the technology to do so and leave it at that. And again, drop the scale down to 5, maybe even lower. Let's go 2. It's supposed to be really... Okay. So we have our plaque here. Let's go ahead and grab it and put it up on the wall. First we gotta flip it though. Actually, that's backwards, isn't it? Oh, what the hell. I haven't put everything together yet. My bad. Alright, group it. Group of 1 objects. Alright, actually, no, right, that was the wrong way to do it. So, damn, should use the scale menu. I think that's right. Looks right anyway. Right. Creating a new version of Japanese English. Right. It's like light for right and rife for life. Let's see, where are we? I don't even know where okay, it's over. No, it's not. Where? Oh, there. Yeah, okay. So, we want to rotate it this way. And try to get it right there. Yeah. Alright, so now I gotta move it over here to the wall and make sure it actually fits properly. It should, because I measured it to be less than the size of the wall, so it could fit it in properly. Alright, so now we need to get a, got that up there now. Actually looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and then add in the prompt for it. The computer terminal here. So, the problem with this is that the only terminals, and I'm doing the parentheses finger thing, is that they are Combine terminals. Or interfaces, rather. Yeah, see, Combine interfaces. And that you can't exactly use in a graveyard because, well, I suppose you could feng shui it and say, oh, they took this technology from the Combine and used it for this purpose, but that's kind of stretching it a bit too far. So you need to find a, let's see, what the hell do they call their computer stuff? Not called computers. All they have for computers is keyboards. They're not called CPUs. They're not called towers. What the hell did Valve call them? Server, maybe? Ah. That's not exactly correct either. Damn it. Maybe I'll just have to create my own thing out of, like I did with the test map. Just create my own kind of panel of switches. Yeah, I'll probably just have to do that. Damn. But oh well. It's fine. Probably gonna be pushing this map pretty far with in terms of the crap, what are they called? Texture infos, I guess, for what the hell? Oh, I thought there was like a no draw there or something. Funk details, but whatever. Essentially all these walls have to be funk detailed. Otherwise it's gonna kill the VisLeaf compiler. Double clicked. Didn't mean to. It's kind of interesting coming up with these different roof ideas. Essentially, I just went to the vertex editor and used the create all these different effects. Damn it! Stop unselecting. Jeez. And stop selecting things that shouldn't be selected. And I got the final building here finally. Alright, so I'm going to take those, grab everything else like this, and just add to the same funk detail. Alright, so, actually these walls too. I completely forgot this building, didn't I? And my funk detailing. Insanity here. Alright, okay. Now, need to make that, I'm going to delete that prop. Delete that one too. Need to make this, kind of switchboard, if you will. So we need to start out, just going to minimize that for a second. We need to start out with just kind of a block of no draw. That's how I usually do things, start with no draw. Create the shape that I want, then texture it later. And gonna make, oh, we are in it, okay, good, never mind. In building mode here. So we just need to kind of not make it too huge, but not too small either. It's probably about right there. Which one's the wall? Okay, so that's the one right in the middle of the end, the back there. It's right there. Okay, where is it? And how come I can't see it in there? Because it's all the way up there. Drag it down to the floor. And drag this down. Let's go and stretch out a bit more. Well, yeah, so on that. Maybe a little bit larger. Alright, so create. Then we want to go ahead and just slice off a portion of it here. Might be a little bit too extreme. Okay, that'll work. Next, we want to make some keyframes. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 9 keyframes. And because of that, we might need to make this a bit bigger. So, what I want to do now is I'm going to take these keyframes, just kind of line them up in this little area here. We'll just leave them as they are for the moment, and we'll position them correctly later on. Just going to get them stuck back here so they're out of the way. And easily reachable for when we need them. Alright, so now we need to, what we're going to do here is on this, we're going to make this a well, here's what we're going to do with this. We need to create holes, if you will. So let's see if we can figure this out. First of all, we need to separate this part from that part, because we just want to work on this and not this entire thing. So what we want to do now with this is we want to make another layer that'll serve as like the bottom layer. I think we're one off. Yeah. Then we want to take this and we want to kind of cut it into sections here. It's not the best way to do it, but it's probably obviously how many units. I like to try to keep these things kind of uniform. 9 should have gone with 8, or 7 should have gone with 8. Actually, we can fix it, can't we? So 8 units. 8-unit buffer essentially is what it is. Alright. Same thing with this. Alright, so we have our kind of middle area here. This is where we're going to put our lights and levers at. So what we want to do now is we want to separate out each section, since we're approximately, so this is like, so it's 24, 25 units, so right down the middle, I guess. Even though one's a little bit larger than the other. We want to then cut out like little sections here. We'll put the lights up here, so really what we should do first though is put in the actual sector number distinctions so that, and these are not on the grid. Surprise, surprise. So let's make sure these are on the grid first. Actually, I don't even know how you would go about doing that properly. Maybe we'll just leave it like that and work with it that way. But we'll figure it out. So what we need to do now is go to this and prefab, or rather, entities and prefabs. And I've got a whole bunch of different things here. So we need sector, sector. So we got our S. E. C. And all the other letters in the alphabet now. Let's see. CCOR. And T. Now we're going to need 1 through 9. We got 1 through 6, 7, 7 to 8 and 9. What the hell? I guess I'll have to make them. It shouldn't be too hard to make them, it's just, where'd that one go to? Oh wow, what the hell? How to get way over there? It's interesting, one looks like just a huge block. It's very interesting. I'll have to modify that a little bit. 2. They're all going over there. I guess we'll just do them all, then go bring them back over. Oh wait, I see it's on the side. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. No, that one isn't. The other ones are. Which is odd. Hopefully these are all of them. Oh, there's one over here. Very interesting. What the hell is this from? Oh, I see. So what's this? Oh, that's 0. I see. Now it's O. What was the one I had then that was just like a huge block? Maybe that was it. I don't know. It must have been in. It must have been just down below the map because I hadn't lifted it back up. Bring those over. Okay. So we got all the stuff we're going to need here. Actually, I think I created these numbers. I think. I'm not entirely sure. That's why they're textured for. So I used them for the, I think it was the Underground 2 map, right? Underground 1 map for the lockdown segment. Here's what's going to happen now. We need to take our letters first and get them situated on here properly so we can figure out how large each section of this needs to be. So, S, E, CT, where's T? Sector. Like Skeletor. I don't see a T. What happened to the T? I see two S's though. What the hell's with that? Maybe I did two S's instead of a T. Possible. Alright, there's our T. Oh, it's over here. T. And another S. What the hell? We've got S's all over the place. Got three S's. Why do I have three S's? And I have two T's as well. Alright, so there we go. Sector. Like Sector from Mortal Kombat. O. And R. RVRTs. Alright, so we got our sector and it's kind of all over the place on the Z line, so let's flatten it out. Right, let's see, way up here. T, even higher. And R. Alright, now let's get in position so that they look a little bit more correct here. Maybe two between. One just seems too close. Alright, sector. Let's go ahead and group them. So that's a little bit large. We're going to have to shrink them down a bit, I think. Let's increase it just a little bit. Alright, sector. And then we need to bring our numbers over here and throw them down as well. So sector 1. First, these we gotta flip over to. So what's the size of this? 18 by 5. So, sector 1, or I, or line, or whatever the hell that is. It doesn't look like a 1. I'm going to copy this over now. Don't want to go too far because I don't want to use up all the space before we get to 9, but it's a good space in between there. Actually, I should probably measure it out so it's all uniform. Create a measuring thing here. Should we get it on actual grid points? At least the edges on grid points. 2. This looks like a Z or an S or something. So, let's flip it. Actually, I want to go the other way. Alright, so... Wow, that looks really bloody weird. It's always annoying working with these kind of things because you have to put them on the grid lines manually. The resizing, because it's not all one object, so it aligns the edge vertices instead of the actual edge of the bounding square. Alright, let's grab our measuring device here. And 3. So we want to flip this around first. So right now it's E. Crapola. Grabbed the wrong thing. Then we'll go on Z by 90. Oh, damn. Maybe it's X. No. Must be Y then. Process of elimination. There we go. That's way up there. Still looks like a 3. So you get the idea for that. I won't do the entire thing. That's how that's gonna happen. We'll put this over here for a moment. Come on, move over, you stupid window. Jeez. Alright, now, underneath there, need to make another cut across the top here. Then we need to make blocks out of this, essentially. I'll go ahead and equalize them later on. Essentially what we're doing is we're making pockets that we can turn into lights. That's essentially what we're doing with this. So we'll use a certain texture here. Where B? This one, I believe. No, this one. Like that. And then we'll put a sprite in here that will light up this light, depending on what the status of the sector is. If it's green, if it's powered, it'll be green. Same as the beams up here, and if it's red, it'll be red. If it's not powered, it'll be red. Or maybe it'll be obviously, and apparently we hit 126 gigabytes, so that flashing you may or may not have seen was actually PlayClaw crashing the Explorer for half a second, which is interesting. So I just gotta keep that in mind. That's happening. That's what we'll do with those. And then down here we'll create another larger hole, but we'll have to do that in tandem with the actual model of the power lever. So we'll get that in. Entities, prop dynamic. Actually, we need a couple of them. There's a lever, but there's also, I think, a cancel. Let's see. Here we go. So it's a prop dynamic switch base with a rotate button and the throw switch and lever. So this will be the base. Alright, so we want to rotate it, so I think 180 and then 90. Aha, I got it right. So actually that takes up the whole entire area there, doesn't it? I thought it'd be a little bit larger or smaller than that. Let's go with these two here. Well, it's not exactly like we can redo this easily because it's on a slope, so that's not going to work. Yeah, there's probably enough room to make it work. I don't think it'll be that much of an issue. So actually we don't need to make cuts in that area. We just lay it right on top, I guess. It's kind of like that. Yeah, that works. I could even move it down if I needed to a little bit more, if I wanted to. But it's fine where it was, though. Of course, we don't want to do that until we get everything ready with it. So, that includes doing the handle now. Another prop dynamic. Throw switch lever. Block tool here. Create. Now let's see, page down, and page up. That's kind of odd. Actually, we need to name this first. So, sec1 master switch. So we'll say rock button. Then parent, apply. Are there multiple skins? No. Didn't think there were. What's with this test? It's dynamic, but what sequences are there? None? So I'm wondering if that's a mistake. Maybe it's supposed to be static. I don't know. Anyway, so we want to go ahead and take this. Oops. Position it. I actually want to flip it around. Oops. It's supposed to be negative 180. So either way, it kind of doesn't really fit properly. How do we do it over here? I don't know if it looks as is fitted in properly or not, though. Let's see. Let's see. Side view of it. Okay, so it is on the edge, though. The edge that kind of shoots out upwards is the one that should be facing the base. So, the other way. This edge about right there. Kind of almost doesn't fit properly on this one. I don't know why. It's odd. So, I'll just flip it horizontally. Or maybe vertically instead. There we go. I guess that's how it works. Oh wow, it actually shoots right into there, huh? Oh wait, it's gonna be... Okay, so that should be fine. It's gonna be, moved anyway. Tilted, and we'll see if it fits properly. What the hell? Didn't seem to change anything. There we go. Alright, so now... need to combine all these things and rotate them. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I'll move it so it's in between the, So between the two lights here. So what'll happen is that player will come over here, activate this lever, it'll come out, and then the stuff will change. So that's basically what this is gonna look like when it's finished. Texturing notwithstanding, we'll have 2 lights here, and then this lever in between them, and keyframe ropes going up into this for the kind of technical and electrical aspects of it, I guess. And this will all be connected to various power levers situated throughout the entire graveyard and in the specific sectors. Let's go ahead and get shift gear here and create the textures, I keep saying, with the signs that we're going to be using, or need to have in order to tell the player what they have to really do. So it's going to require us to go to Photoshop. Go ahead and save this for now, and restart the recording real quick here. Alright, so Photoshop. So in order to do this properly, you have to use the alpha channel on the layers that you have the object on that you want to have. If there's going to be transparency, which there will be on this because we're going to be doing a non-rectangular object here. So the size has to be a power of 2. So we'll say 512 by 512 probably a good size. So new. Because these signs are going to be have a lot of text on them, so it's better to have them be more of a kind of a square than a rectangle. So what we need to do first is we need to create the actual base of the sign. So we can create a new layer. Go ahead and switch to round edge rectangle, and then over, let's see, for the color, I'm going to do kind of a steel gray kind of color. Alright, so there's the base. Go ahead and resaturize. And let's go ahead and add an edge to this. Just a really small edge. Alright, so there's our base. Get another new layer here, and what I want to do now is to make a layer of white and put 2 different sections of it.